Setting resolutions, especially at the beginning of every year, helps us navigate each day with something to look up to at the end of the year, something to accomplish before the year comes to an end. It's about 60 plus days before the end of 2024. And the question is, how many resolutions have you ticked so far? With all the resolutions you made at the beginning of 2024, how many have you ticked? If you are lucky enough to tick everything on that resolution list, big up to you. Thank you for putting in the work, and thank God that has enabled you to, have them realized, have them checked. And if anyone that is, feeling, kind of a failure because they failed to check any, the question is, do we have to check every resolution we make in life, especially at the beginning of every year? Because that's when most people make resolutions. New Year's resolutions, just like you made New Year's 2024 resolutions. Do we need to check them every year? Do we? I think resolutions are a great way to have something to live by, something to guide us through the entire year, something that prompts us to live our best, to forge ourselves to be the best we can be, something that prompts us to evolve to be the best versions of ourselves. I don't think that we have to check every resolutions, because that's beyond our control, if I might say. You are free to plan, you are free to dream and execute, but actually achieving that thing is out of our control. Kinda. There's a little percentage that is in our control. The dreaming is in our control, the execution is in our control, but achieving isn't in our control. I think that's nature. Nature decides who wins and who doesn't. I don't want to say who loses, because it's only in loss or failure that we learn. It's only in loss or failure that we gain experience. So I think we shouldn't tick everything. We shouldn't count ourselves out just because we failed to check those resolutions in a time span of a year. I've had resolutions that I made in 2023, but I've realized them in this year, this very year 2024. I've had resolutions that I made in 2019 actually, that I've realized in this year, and some I haven't realized even in 2024. Those are around 5 years past, but I haven't got those. I haven't reached that milestone. I haven't reached those resolutions that I sent way back in 2019. And there are resolutions that I've made in this year that I've actually accomplished in this very year 2024. So I think setting resolutions counts you a winner already, because a few people do that. A few people decide that I will achieve this and live by that, and let that be a guide to navigate every day with hopes of achieving that resolution, with hopes of achieving whatever their dream is. That sets you apart already. Take an example of the World Cup. Every team goes to the World Cup. Of course, they call those teams World Cup finalists. They are already on the final. Just going to the World Cup qualifies you a winner. Yeah. And every team that qualifies in the World Cup tournament, every after 4 years, their resolution, maybe their goal in mind, they want to win, because everybody wants to win. But not every team that qualifies for the World Cup wins the World Cup. There emerges only one winner, the World Cup champion. But all the other teams are called finalists, because they managed, to come up in the tournament. They managed to qualify for the tournament. But all of them had that as their resolution, First of all, qualifying for the tournament, the World Cup tournament. And the second resolution is winning the World Cup. Surely, winning the World Cup. Who wants to participate in a tournament, but they don't want to win the tournament? And that doesn't qualify them failures just because they fail to win. The fact that they made resolutions and they try to live by them qualifies them winners, qualifies them victors. Because there are a lot of teams that have never even qualified in the World Cup, but they have that as their resolution, as their goal, that at some point in time they will qualify for the World Cup. They will actually win the World Cup, including my mother and Uganda. We've never qualified for a World Cup tournament ever. But that doesn't stop us from dreaming. That doesn't stop us from making resolutions of qualifying for the World Cup and actually winning the World Cup at some point in time. So I think we shouldn't count ourselves out. We shouldn't count ourselves failures just because we failed to take resolutions. That's because we failed to reach that milestone we hoped for. That's just because we failed to acquire or to achieve that goal. Putting goals on a deadline, be it before the end of the year, I must acquire this, helps you navigate life with purpose. Helps you navigate life, navigate every day. You wake up with the purpose of achieving that goal. But if you fail to achieve that goal in the time span you set, it doesn't qualify you a failure. The fact that you set that goal, you are ahead of 99% of people on this first planet that ain't even setting goals, that ain't even setting resolutions. They have nothing to live by, but you have a thing that guides you through life. I think you should count yourself a victor already. You should count yourself a winner. And who is a winner and who is a loser? To my opinion, there are winners and losers. And by losers I mean not people that set things and fail to acquire them, but they've put in the work. Those ain't losers, in my opinion. Those are also winners. In my opinion, losers are those that have nothing to live by, are those that fail to find their purpose in life, are those that fail to find something to live by, something they can tie their purpose, their life. Those that fail to, put in the work to find their life goal, their life purpose in life, I call them losers. They are not losers because they tried and failed, but they didn't even try to try. They didn't even try to find what their purpose in life is. So I call them losers because they failed to try with fear or failure or whatever reason they might have. And for me, winners are everyone that wakes up every day with something to look up to. Those are already winners. You might not achieve that thing, but the fact that you are living by something, you are living a life of purpose, you already a winner. You are already a winner, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, but let me know down in the comment section. Tell me, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Who knows? Otherwise, find your life purpose. You ain't a failure because you failed to check the resolutions you made at New Year's Day, at the beginning of every new year. You ain't a loser. You are a winner actually. The fact that you made those resolutions, the fact that you had that in mind, that you have to do that thing, and you actually executed. You've actually done what was in your control, and that's execution. You're a winner. Don't count yourself out. See you 2025. Make those resolutions once more. You never know.